Hello, this is Smita Kumar, and you're watching Medicircle. Today, on our healthcare startup series, we have yet another exciting startup with us. The founder being Pankaj Sharma. So, Pankaj Sharma is here with us, and he's the co-founder of Leadinvent Pharma. It is a nano medicine company developing gel formulation for enhancing brain cancer surgery. Hi, Pankaj. Welcome to Medicircle.
Hi, Smita. Thanks for having me here.
So great to connect with entrepreneurs, all from the healthcare fraternity, because through our platform, we want to bridge this gap. We want to make people aware about the disruptions and the innovations that are happening in the healthcare industry. So as being the co-founder of Leadinvent, tell us more about your startup and what is the problem it is solving.
So yeah, Leadinvent Pharma is completely a drug discovery, a nano drug discovery company. And we got started with Leadinvent Pharma from a very simple fact that a lot of drugs are not going where they're supposed to go. So when you dose a patient or somebody takes a medicine, it gets distributed into the entire body, and you're not able to you're not able to send the molecule where it's supposed to go. So you get a full body exposure, and then you hope. And because you get a full body exposure, you have to take a large dose of that drug. So we were always very much interested that if we use nanotechnology and encapsulate an active drug into a nanoparticle, and then I can design the nanoparticle so that it goes where it's supposed to go. That was the whole genesis of this company. What we have been working is with that simple an idea, what we have by now have ended up into a very nice product, which is designed around the same concept, but it has been designed for, it's a platform technology for eliminating cancers that surgeons are not able to eliminate using conventional surgical techniques. And the most advanced data that we have at this point in time is for brain cancer.
Okay. So apart from brain cancer, is this also working in the field of other cancers? Because breast cancer, lung and colon cancer are also some of the bigger cancers that are claiming a lot of lives. So are you also progressing into creating solutions for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this, as I said, this is a platform tech. It can be applied to multiple other tumor types. So apart from brain, the other cancer types that we have tested and evaluated preliminarily is one is oral cancer. So head and neck cancer and oral cancer kind of fits this. This is also very, very useful in in breast cancer, especially in the toughest one, which is the triple negative breast cancer, for which patients do not respond well. This can work there. This has also shown activity for skin cancer, and this can be used for lung cancer and a specific type of pancreatic cancer. These are cancers where the cancer has mutated, it's not responding to drug, the radiation is not killing the cancer, it's difficult to do surgery. In all those cases, this product can be used.
Okay. And besides other Indian startups, I think there are not many Indian startups that are providing quality cancer care in India and working in this field. Like there is a hospital is there, Onward Assist is there, Ignite for base care. But again, there are different aspects onto which they are working. So what are the prime USPs of Leadinvent?
Yeah, as you said, it's very, very difficult. It's expensive both in terms of time and capital it takes to develop a new product. And India, unfortunately, doesn't have an ecosystem where you can get a lot of capital and a lot of time and the necessary infrastructure to develop a new product. So most of the time, what is happening is India is constantly looking at the Western world, looking at the drugs that have been developed over there, and then our generic manufacturers in India then manufacture it and then make it available. But there's a big gap because when the innovative drug comes out, we have to wait for the drug to either become generic. It's a 5 to 10 years waiting time, or even if we have to build that drug here or create that drug here, we have to pay heavy licensing. So that's why cancer therapy is so expensive. I mean, it's just not the disease, but the cost associated with cancer therapy is expensive because we're paying for innovation that was done somewhere else.
Yes.
We don't have too many companies like Leadinvent in India, unfortunately, at this point in time.
Surely. So, but yes, definitely the affordability is a prime challenge in the care of cancer because again, there are not many patients who are not able to afford chemos and there are so many other expensive things definitely the advancements are always there in the field of cancer. But yes, like immunotherapy is there. But yes, it is all very, very expensive. Need to have a certain approach also to bring down the cost. That is very, very important in this factor. How many lives you have touched so far? Cancer being a deadly disease, and doing something in cancer care is something really, really good for the entire humanity. So, how many patients' lives you have touched so far?
Unfortunately, we haven't reached to that stage. We are entering into that stage now.
Okay.
Drug discovery is a long drawn process. You start with the basic chemistry, you make the formulation, then you test it on cells, then you test it on animals, and then you completely, based on that entire data, you approach the FDA or the Indian regulator, which is the DCGI, and get the approval to start the clinical trial. So we have done the entire discovery phase is all done. We are now entering into the stage where, and we have shown this to, the FDA has already looked at it.
Okay.
And we are showing it to the Indian regulator, the DCGI. Hopefully by, sometime early next year, because it's going to take some time for the approvals to come. We will start with the first human clinical trial where patients will be able to get access to this drug. It'll be a clinical trial, so it will be available to them. They don't have to pay for it. But those patients which are unfortunately going through the brain cancer surgery will be eligible to participate in the trial and get benefited from the drug. The first small clinical trial would be for 20 patients. It will be done in Delhi most probably. And then there will be a 40 patient trial that will get expanded. So about 60 patients will get an opportunity to take this therapy in over the next 24 to 36 months.
And as Pankaj, your startup has received funds from BioTech and also the Department of Biotechnology. So how much funds you have raised so far, and how has the funds been utilized to scale up Leadinvent?
Yeah, overall, it's been a very capital efficient. We haven't raised too much. I mean, close to about $1 million is what we have kind of gathered from public and private funding, and all that funding that has gone in developing this particular drug so far.
Regarding your revenue, so what were your revenues in FY 2022 and what you're planning to close at this end of FY 2023?
We are pre-revenue right now because, as I said, I can't sell the drug till I test it in clinical trial. So Leadinvent is more of a licensing. What our revenue will come from a licensing, because we can develop the product up till a certain point in human clinical trial, and then we will look at partnering or licensing with the pharma company. So our true revenue will come from a licensing deal where we hand it over to a pharma company that will then do a large scale trial and then put it into the market. And then once the product is in the market, we will have a certain percentage of the royalty on the sales of the product. And that will be the recurring revenue for a product like this.
Sure. And according to a stats in 2016 by the National Cancer Institute, AIMS, India has recorded over 17.3 lakhs new cases of different kinds of cancer we can lose up to 8.8 lakhs of patients to this disease this year. That means it's a huge volume of patients. And also, as there are new developments which is happening, but still cancer invokes shock. The fear is there among the people, plus the cost that also kills, because again, it's huge cost. Against even putting in lot of money, still the survival rates are very, very low. So in this difficult situations, developing something, then make it in a trial, and like it becomes sometimes very, very strenuous, and on this because there's a huge responsibility to cater to such kind of patients. So how and what are the goals your organization have in terms of particular this thing, that to bring down the cost also and making an effective solution for brain cancer, that it's very, very prevalent here in India. So what are the goals, and what are the plans of expansion? Where are the areas you want to take it to this next level?
You're right. I think the whole idea with this thing came out is, unfortunately, I lost both my grandmothers to cancer. And while growing up, I saw the challenge of, seeing somebody who's going through a cancer treatment and the stress that it puts on a family, the emotional challenges that come along with that. So I was very, very sensitive to the fact that, as I got educated and I reached to the point in my life where I could do something about it, I decided to do something about it. Our goal is to ensure that, for especially in brain cancer, what's happening is that the surgeon is never able to remove the entire tumor. They're able to remove 97, 98%, but the last 1-2% tumor remains there and they're not able to remove it. Because it's touching brain cells, it's difficult to remove it. The product that we have built is little different because this particular product is not something that you give to people through IV or oral. This is an intratumoral injectable gel. You directly inject it into the cancer, the remaining tumor.
Okay.
The gel has some nanoparticles that get absorbed by the cancer cells, and then using a small laser light, you can burn the tumor away. So it's like a laser scalpel that burns the tumor away. This is something that the scalpel cannot remove. So it's like you directly put the drug where the tumor is and burn the tumor away. Now, with this kind of a technology, we can practically look at and what it kills is those cancer cells which are resistant to chemotherapy, that are resistant to radiation. These are the cells. If you look at in cancer therapy, the mortality comes not because of the primary cancer. The mortality comes because the cancer comes back after the first treatment, after the second treatment. What this product can do is it can reduce and eliminate to a very large extent this recurrence of cancer. So I'm very, very hopeful that once this product goes through the brain cancer treatment, we will be able to then go to the regulator and ask them permission to then broaden the application across as many localized cancers as we can. Yes. The other part of it is this is not very expensive. This can be done it can be done in an OPD. If there is a skin cancer or oral cancer, you don't have to anesthetize the person. You can just apply the drug, put the laser, 10 minutes, the person can walk out of the treatment. So it can be extremely cheap. It can be extremely fast, and it can be made abundantly available beyond the tier 1 cities. So this can go into tier 2, tier 3 cities where expensive, exquisite infrastructure is not there. This laser plus gel technology can be one of the major treatment protocols. So the idea is I want to do this for India. Hopefully, I'm very, very focused about doing this for my country and ensuring that we get this access to this technology first. Yes, it has been painful and it has tested all the intellectual and the patience and energy of the people, but it's worth it. I think we should not lose people to cancer just like that. We should have better technologies.
And something like this is coming from an Indian origin and also treating patients, especially in the remotest of pins, nothing like that, because again, they are not able to access to basic healthcare. When it comes to cancer, it is really, really out of their reach. So closing down on this note, Pankaj, do share your advices or your pieces of learning, whatever you have gathered for the young entrepreneurs who are watching this video today.
Yeah, I think, entrepreneurship is a very rewarding and a testing journey. All I can say that is, as long as you're operating everything from, if you have the heart at the right place, and you have some of the team members, you're able to build. It's very difficult to walk this journey on your own. Being alone on this journey kind of, it really tests you in different ways. So, just get few more people onto this journey with you so that there is other people who can share the burden and also enjoy the ride along with you. That's part number one. Second is to have the heart at the right place. Always remember why it's been done. And once a lot of people in entrepreneurship are getting into it because it seems like a good way to make money, or it's a good way to become your own boss. But I think those are very low level goals. I think your goal to start something should be much bigger than yourself. And once your North Star is big enough, what you're aiming for in life, and you're going after that, then the what becomes very easy. What I need to do to achieve it becomes very obvious. A lot of people are stuck in describing what should I do to become successful. In my opinion, we should ask is, why am I doing what am I doing? And once you have clarity on that, the what becomes much more easy. There are people that get associated with it. You get investors. You're able to move mountains because you are not, clearly where you're heading to. The journey is not easy, but at the same time, it is something that grows you phenomenally as a person. And you have an opportunity to impact not yourself, but the entire team that works for you. So it's a great way to live life and achieve something big.
Definitely. So There were some cool words from Pankaj Sharma, the co-founder of Leadinvent Pharma. And as we talk about entrepreneurship, definitely why is a very important thing. Like in the case of brain cancer, in India alone, there are 40 to 50,000 people who are diagnosed with brain cancer every year. This is according to some estimates. Out of these, 20% are children. So, like experts say that this number could be much, much higher because there are so many cases in the rural belts which go unreported. That means they are never diagnosed. So, in 2018, like the cancer was found to be the 10th most common kind of cancers among Indians. That means it is already a deadly disease and it can be sometimes treated by various methods, with majority of these patients die within 9 to 12 months. And if the survival rate is less than 3%, or more than 3 years, that means definitely we need to have some breakthrough technology in this treatment protocol, like the way Pankaj is talking about, having a laser or a gel technology, which can not only bring down the cost, but can make it available in the different rural areas where the cases are even not being reported, where there are cases of so many oral cancers, but there is no detection being done. So great talking to you, Pankaj, and knowing more about Leadinvent. Hope it passes all the tests as soon as possible. After the clinical trials, it is available to save and serve the mankind. Thank you once again for joining us today at Medicircle.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate being here.
Thank you.